In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. There was once a nation upon whom Allah sent down a painful punishment. Every single one of them was transformed into monkeys. But what sin did they commit? How long did they live after the transformation? What happened to them in the end? And are the monkeys we see today their descendants? Let's uncover the answers through the Quran and Hadith. The story goes back to the time of Prophet Dawood, peace be upon him. He and his people lived in a coastal village called Ayla. The population was around 70,000. They were prosperous and lived in comfort because Allah had blessed them with countless favors, lush gardens, fertile land, and above all, an abundance of fish from the sea. Fishing and trade brought them wealth, and life was good. But with wealth came arrogance and disobedience. People began to sin openly, so Allah tested them. Revelation came to Prophet Dawood, peace be upon him, telling him to command his people not to fish on Saturdays, the Sabbath. On that day, fishing was forbidden. This command shocked them, because Saturday was exactly the day when fish gathered in huge numbers near the shore. On other days, fish were few and hard to catch. Since their livelihood depended on fishing, they became restless. But this was in fact a test from Allah. Then Satan whispered an idea into their hearts. Why not dig canals from the sea into ponds on land? On Saturday, when the fish come in great numbers, they'll swim into the ponds. You can block the canals and catch them the next day, on Sunday. That way you won't technically fish on Saturday, but you'll still get the catch. Many people liked this trick and began doing it. They built canals and ponds, and the fish poured in every Saturday. But what they failed to realize was trapping fish on Saturday was still disobedience. At that point, the community divided into 3 groups. One group strongly opposed this trick and refused to join. Another group remained silent. They knew it was wrong, but neither stopped it nor participated. And the third group were the defiant ones. They followed Satan's whisper and openly fished on Saturday, selling and eating what Allah had forbidden. Among them were about 1,200 who continued fishing this way, despite Prophet Dawood's repeated warnings. The righteous people even built a wall to separate themselves from the sinners. Still, the disobedient ones did not stop. Finally, Prophet Dawood became angry and invoked Allah's curse upon them. Soon after, the sinners disappeared from sight. Curious, some people climbed the wall to see what had happened. To their shock, the disobedient ones had all been transformed into monkeys. They recognized their relatives, came close, sniffed their clothes, and cried bitterly, but they could not speak. Allah's punishment had come to them for their rebellion. According to reports, around 12,000 people were turned into monkeys. They lived only 3 days, unable to eat or drink, and then they all perished. As for those who warned against sin, Allah protected them. Even those who stayed silent were spared from the punishment. Now, what about today's monkeys? Are they descendants of that nation? The answer is no. Abdullah ibn Masud, may Allah be pleased with him, explained that when Allah punishes a nation or changes their form, He destroys them completely. Their generations do not continue. Those transformed into monkeys lived only 3 days, then they were wiped out forever. So the monkeys living today are not their descendants. That sinful nation was erased from existence. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel. More inspiring stories are shared here regularly.